Okay, we're good to go.
So Rita, if you'd be kind enough to do the roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Rubini,
Present.
Mr. Murphy,
Here.
Chairman Lyons,
Here.
and let the record show that absent with notice are Mr. Doherty, Mr. Kent, Mr. Roche, and Town Attorney Randolph, and also present is the Town Manager Thrasher.
Okay. Minutes of the last regular meeting. Any comments, additions, deletions?
I move they be approved as presented.
I'll second that.
Any additions, withdrawals, deferrals, or arrange?
Need a roll
Yeah,
call.
I'll
Oh,
vote
sure.
on that. Yeah.
Mr. Smith,
Yes?
Mr. Rubini,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, additions, withdrawals, deferrals, arrangements of agenda items.
We have none.
Okay, listed below are the dates for the next meetings. Any changes to those, Rita?
No.
Okay.
There will not be a meeting, of course, next month.
Mm-hmm. Can I give notice that I won't be in town on the 22nd of September?
22nd of September. Okay.
You could attend it telephonically.
Okay, any ex parte communications?
No.
So why don't we move to the first application and the only one?
The oath.
Oh, yes, well, let's do that. Thank you.
Raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Please.
Good morning. My name is Rustam Kupi. I'm here with Dave Podker, the landscape architect for the project, 3133 Polo Drive. First, I want to thank Chairman Lyons for coming down so that we could have the meeting, because else I guess we wouldn't be having the meeting.
You're kind, but it's our duty to be here if we agree to serve on this board, so thank you.
Thank you. The house is, there's an existing house, there's an existing large banyan tree on the property that we're trying to save. And we sort of designed the new house around the old house. We were able to do a two-story house. We didn't think that would fit because we're up sort of on a hill, the existing house. So we're keeping it a one-story house. In order to make it look nice and save the tree, we split the driveway, did two one-car garages instead of one large, oversized two-car garage. So the site plan, as you can see, we've delineated where the tree and the actual trunk of the tree and the base is. You can see that we've put the driveway and come around it. Now we've moved the house, even though we only have a 30-foot setback, we actually have the house much further back. We have the house set back about 45 feet to be able, so we pushed it back even further because of the low-lying branches of the tree. So we wanted to make sure that you could actually gain access around it and not hurt the tree.
Where is it vis-a-vis on the present front of the house? Is it about the same location?
Within about a foot or two
Okay.
from where the existing front is. We're saving the pool, the existing pool, which currently, we set the house, the new house, within about 6 inches of where the old house was. Because we're saving the pool, the existing pool currently sits about a foot higher than the existing finished floor of the house. So the water right now, they have it sort of trenched so that if the pool overflows, instead of flowing in the house, it goes towards the house and then sort of goes around it because it sits higher. So what we did is we adjusted the finished floor of the house, and we're going to go in, even though we're saving the pool, we're going to cut down the top of the pool off and lower it by about 6 to 8 inches so that it's lower than the inside of the house when we're all said and done. We're maintaining all the grades, as you can tell if you've been by the house. The street is low, the house sits up on the hill, so we try to maintain everything the way that it looks currently. And we thought that a two-story house would have too much of an impact, so decided to stick with the one story, or one little residence. Other than that, we meet all the criteria, area tabulations. The ridge line of the main roof is approximately, I think when it's all said and done, this ridge line right here, which is the top of the roof, is approximately 4. It's either right on the allowed. It's not. It's in the discouraged when you go over that. It's about 4 inches into the discouraged thing. But that was to be able to get the pitch break and everything on the house to make it look nice. And since we're doing a 1-story house instead of a 2-story house, but I'm here with Dave Botcher. We're here to answer. You can see he did some things showing where the trees are and the landscaping that's being proposed along the sides, the rear, the street. And we're here to answer any questions you may have.
I'll make a comment. I particularly like the insertion you have on street relationship drawing, which shows the house in relationship to its neighboring north and south, which I think is a great portrayal of how it fits.
Thank you.
And in fact, it'd be nice if we got that more frequently.
As a standard.
And there are other applications that have been problematic with,
Yeah, so this is,
That-
I don't know, maybe it's been used before, but I've never noticed it.
It's actually in your application
Forget to see that.
to have that put in there for you.
Especially with some of the issues we've had about
Well, in any case, thank you for doing it. I think it's great.
I'm just letting you know that they always let me know, they remind me. Rita and Bill always remind me that this is.
Oh, good, good. Any questions?
Any feedback from the neighbours?
We had one call from a neighbor who was up north, and she evidently couldn't find it on the website, so we faxed her up a copy, and Weatherby was her name, and she didn't call back anymore, so I guess it was all right.
Okay. Thanks, Rita.
2 questions. So Rusty, you're gonna chop the pool down a little bit and raise the floor a little bit so that at least the sort of the floor grade is the same as the top lip of the pool, sort of.
Yes. What we're trying to do is, currently the pool deck is so high that we want to raise the floor about 4 inches from existing, approximately. It's 4 to 6 inches. And then the existing pool, we're talking about taking it down 6, maybe 8, maybe 12. It depends. It's a very deep pool, which helps us. But we want to be below the finished floor of the house with the pool so that the yard can be more level. And right now they have, I don't know if you went in the backyard, but you can be sitting in the living room, looking out back, and if that pool overflows, it's coming right at you. And at the very end, it sort of goes off to the side. So we want to avoid that. We're building a new house. We want to make sure that it's at the right level and that the pool's lower than and I think when they did it, that's a coquina ridge back there. So when they put the pool, they sort of, I think they started and all of a sudden realized, oh, we're going to have to keep it at this height. We're not going to be able to lower it.
Second question was with the split garages. I'm not an architect, but I don't know if I'm crazy about that look. Did you play around with them on one side or the other, or
We did.
having access from the side instead? It just doesn't work.
We tried coming in from one side and then having both garages not face the street because
Right.
or else we'd lose the tree. So it was a side access, and what that did is all of a sudden the house got pushed back another 20 feet and we'd have to go to a 2-story. And we thought that doing a 2-story here, because of the height already that it's given, it would stick out like a sore thumb, and we wanted to make sure that we could save the tree and do that. So doing a 2-car garage side loaded or even front loaded to get around there, this is going to be more elegant because there's more landscaping in front instead of having this large driveway going to these doors.
I'm not a landscape specialist, but I'm going to ask you, how healthy is that tree? Because there's an awful lot of attention being paid to it because of the tree. Is it very healthy?
Yeah, it's a very nice tree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in great shape.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say on
I mean,
all-wheel
sorry,
drive,
but you know, I wondered if it's fine. I think because there's a lot of effort been made to accommodate it, and it'd be terrible if, if it wasn't there.
Well, we, the first thing we did was look at the tree.
Right.
Had Dave come out, and when he did his whole site investigation, I mean, we said, you know, is this tree worth saving? And he said,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
So,
Right.
and right now, I mean, my kids used to play on that tree, so I mean, it means a lot.
when you start doing some of the construction, is there any risk of compromising your root system?
Well, fortunately, the trees, I mean, the house is far enough back, you know, it's almost in the location, the present location of the house, so, no, I don't think there's much impact to it. We'll have to respect the grade, of course.
We're gonna have to put the barrier around it, and basically, if you drive by it, there's the plantings right now that go around the bottom, the base, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually we try to stay outside of that with the fence because of the drip line of the tree, so that as long as you stay out of that, you don't do anything to the root structure.
Okay.
What is gonna be your screening? Is it ficus hedges around the back?
Yeah, currently,
Are they already there, Dave?
Yeah, they are.
They are, all three, you know, all three sides, so to speak?
on the south side, there's about an 8-foot ficus hedge that runs the whole length of the property, and it's in good shape, fortunately. And in the rear, on the east side, there's also a ficus hedge, again, about 8 feet high, in good condition also. The hedge on the north side, in the front yard, the existing ficus hedge here is about 5 feet high, and it's in good shape, but then it deteriorates from the rest of the way. So we're replacing that ficus hedge from about the point of the house right here back with a 6-foot high ficus hedge. And the current ficus hedge, especially in the backyard, is into the property about 5 feet. I'm not sure why it was planted that way, but it's inside the property, so they lose some property. So we're gonna take that whole thing out and put a new one in adjacent to the property line. There's some other great existing vegetation on this site too. A couple of date palms in the backyard, which we're leaving in place. A lot of Alexander palms that we're relocating.
You changing the pool deck, Rusty, at all? Are you completely? I know you're cutting it down, but you're changing the whole deck too. I did not, I thought for privacy I shouldn't walk around the back, but what are you're taking those stones out that are there, that's the way it's gonna look in the redo?
Yes, we'll have the stones and the deck. Currently, this all exists, all the hard lined area, and then we're doing the irregular stone work with the grass in between and all that to make it more. Right now, it just sits out by itself with this big deck.
It looks like it was an afterthought.
It was put in afterwards.
It
It wasn't put in, it was an afterthought, and I think, I don't know when it was, I just know it was installed quite a few years after the house was originally there.
Can I see, is it the east elevation?
That would be the rear.
Yeah, the rear.
That's it.
There's an existing hedge that goes, that's there.
That's where the utility right away.
It is. It's open behind that hedge.
Yeah.
And then in the lower board, I went to the eye doctor the other day and he says I'm legally almost blind, even with my glasses on, so I apologize. I have some cataracts I gotta fix.
Should I bring this?
Thanks. So the top one is what elevation?
North.
The top one is if you were standing on the neighbor to the north looking at the house south.
And the other one house south,
Mhm.
okay. Gotcha, thank you.
Bill, the roof tile is approved, is it the gray slate-like roof, Rusty?
Yes, it's the antique gray variegated, so that it's, you
Yeah.
see it throughout, it's to match.
Tom mentioned the garages, and I understand your thought process, and I'm glad you came to the conclusion you did, doing a one-story. Is that architectural style splitting garage something that's
You see it, it's not newer, you see it in very old houses. If you go to Palm Beach, you'll see some of them that turn them sideways to a parking court and you come in on either side. But when you're starting to see it quite a bit more because of the size of the lots and the restrictions we have on setbacks and things like that. We always try to face the garage away from the street. But if you look at all the houses next to us, even the two-story houses, everything's facing the street. So by not having them together, it dissipates the driving by, you see two garages or you see the entrance.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's half of the front of the house, yeah.
originally I agree with you. In fact, my house in Polo Drive has a two-car garage, and the thing that I wish I could hide, but I can't, because of the size of the lot, is a big garage door. And I also like the design of your garage doors. It kind of disguises it a little bit, for lack of a better term. And what is that material?
That material is wood, and we show it as being painted white, but we could leave it a mahogany. I just didn't want to attract attention to the doors. So the front door, the entry door and everything is the mahogany, and we're painting that white so that it sort of blends in with the smaller.
Seems like you have a lot of symmetry in the house.
Always. On I think it's on everything I do. As you can see, Dave Barker's chuckling because
He's very symmetrical.
I just don't know why you didn't bring that into your argument, that's all.
well, it's just because, I mean, symmetry, that's the given for me. I don't even think about the symmetry because it's always the case, but really, the biggest thing was saving the tree. And doing a one-story house so that we didn't want it to, you always, it's the height of the lot, just the change in grade right there by itself is it would have been, we could have, from the second story, we could have been having great water views, but nobody around us would have been happy.
So when your kids were young, did they go sledding on that hill?
No, they didn't go sledding. We used to take the bikes over there, and they used to climb around on the lower branches when they were about this tall. Now they're too old. Now they drive by and wave at it. I remember that trip.
I think it's a wonderful design. Thank you.
Thank you very
I
much.
agree.
It's great.
If no other comments, questions, or corrections?
No comment.
I guess I'll ask the public, do you are, in a sense,
You are the public.
Okay, when we have a motion, please.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of a demolition permit to demolish the existing single-family dwelling.
I'll second that.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rubini?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
I'd also like to make a motion to recommend approval of a land clearing permit to prepare a portion of the site for the new structure.
Second that.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rubini?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
And finally, I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of a Level 3 architectural site plan based on a finding that the proposed construction of a one-storey, 4,753 square feet single-family Anglo-Caribbean style dwelling with attached two-car garage meet the minimum intent of the design manual and applicable review standards with the following conditions. 1. The electric service lines shall be buried, and 2. Any minor modifications in the landscape plan shall be submitted to the town manager for review and approval, and any major modifications should be brought back to the ARPB for review and approval prior to the commencement of landscaping.
Second.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rubini?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Mr. Cooper, you know you'll be third, the next commission meeting August 12th. No real significance other than it's my birthday. So
Oh.
a cake might be a.
Yeah,
I will, and would that be vanilla with chocolate frosting, or chocolate with chocolate frosting, or chocolate with vanilla frosting?
Just keep it under $100, will you?
Will the doors be open this time?
Maybe.
I guess it won't be any candy.
We don't want a fire hazard.
Can we leave these boards here?
Yes. Thank you.
Do you have any staff?
No items.
Any items by the board members? Seeing as no public, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Paul.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Good work.
Hey, it's gonna quiet down.
Have a good Sunday, guys.